Hey there, I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You, and today we are going to be looking at one simple way that we can integrate self-reflection and self-assessment into our report cards. So while it is true that we know our children, we as parents and educators, we don't know them the best. The only people that really know them the best are our children. So we are here to guide them, to support them, and to just nurture them, to help them along the way. So instead of just assuming we know what's best for them and writing about them and their needs and their wants in our report cards, let's take a moment to actually integrate their thoughts and their feelings into this. This gives students a voice in their report cards, which is essential in intrinsically motivating them to really just do and produce their best work. Now, one way to motivate you, because it's so important to motivate us as teachers and homeschooling parents, is to join my free masterclass that's going to be taking place this coming Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Central Time. And it's not going to be happening here on Facebook or on Instagram. Where it's going to happen is somewhere else, because I want to be able to be there with you hands-on and to spend some good time with you. So I hope you come and snag your free spot. The link's going to be associated with this video, and it's called Systematic Plan to Super Passionate. Now, getting back to our topic, self-reflection and self-assessment is really, really important because, let's face it, it is an excellent classroom management tool, friends. Why? Because your children are going to be so engaged in what they are learning, because at this point they have a say in creating their goals. They have a say in where they want to go, in how they want to go there, and in also understanding and telling us what their social, emotional, and learning needs are. And when we are open to this, it allows us to get to know our children on a better level, deeper level, and that actually deepens the connection between us. Even if you're a parent and you're writing that report card, or homeschooling parent, to a teacher or to a district, it's important that we integrate their voice, because it allows them to know that they are being heard. And when our children understand that they are being heard and that we are there to support them, it really does deepen that connection. It really does help them know that we are in their corner, and that's what we want to do. That's where we build that trust. So now that we know why it's important to integrate self-reflection and self-assessment into our curriculum, let's actually look at that one step that I've been talking about, and let's look at how we can do it. I call this step keep it gradual. And why I'm saying that is because it happens over time. So I've created core competencies for my classroom, and you're welcome to have it. I'll link to it as well with this video. And what I like to do is, instead of focusing on the content of what we're learning in that day, I like to focus on the big picture, curricular competencies. And what I mean by that is, let's say, this is so true for summative report cards, let's say we're working on Egypt, looking at the culture of Egypt, or the background of Egypt, history of Egypt. That might be something we learn for one term or even part of a term, but if I'm looking at a summative report card, that's really difficult to gauge. But if I look at, say, a broad idea like communication, how well they communicated their thoughts or ideas, then that makes it easier for my summative report card, but it also helps my children develop specific skills that they're going to be using outside in the real world, right? The history of Egypt, maybe they might need that, but is it really going to be something that they are working toward, that they're really excited to work toward? Or if I talk about how do we develop communication skills, that might be a very different thing that we are building on while looking at Egypt. So what I like to do for younger children is I like to use the emoji system, but for my older children, I like to take the actual competencies. I can do this, I'm able to do this, and I like to have them either using a task card and writing in their journal, or having journal sheets out ready for them. They take the idea of communication and they get a choice in which branch of communication do I want to work on. And over time, they get to reflect on this, and they get to show me evidence of their work. Now, for the report card, I don't take every single thing. If, depending on how much work they've put into it and the age group, so for my grade 2s, I would actually take a segment of what they've said, and I would put it in quotation marks in my report card, because that way parents know it's not my voice, but their child's voice. Now, for an older child, I might just slip in their reflection sheet so that their parents can actually see what they're working on. I do not integrate their samples. What I do is I integrate that for, say, parent-teacher meeting or student-led conferences, which is a topic for a different day. But I like to integrate their voice. I like to showcase or show parents what their child wants to work on and how they're developing over time. Because if all they see over this is a grade of A or a grade of C, but that child maybe came from a C minus and is now moving to a C and eventually could go to a B or an A, parents aren't going to know that well. They're not going to see that growth, and I like to show that growth. That's important. So this is what I like to do, and I hope you're going to integrate this as well. Now, let's really recap really quickly what we talked about. We looked at the importance of integrating self-reflection and self-assessments into our report cards, but we also looked at one way, keeping it gradual, into our report cards. And this is obviously going to differ how you integrate it into your reports, and differ based on their age and their learning capabilities. What I mean by that really quickly is you might have a child who is of an ESL level, or you might have kids who are just really far ahead. It's really going to differ. It's going to depend on where they're at and what type of resource you use. So you might use the emoji level, you might use task cards, you might use the actual journaling segment. So whichever one works for your children, okay? So I hope this helps you, and please remember, integrating voice gives your children a choice in their learning. I think it's so important, and I hope you understand that it gives them an agency over their learning, and that's really going to help motivate them to keep on showing you their best work, producing their best work, and really showing that effort that we teachers really want to see, as we parents really want to see. Okay? Now, if you would like to go further with this, and if you're a parent or a homeschooling, if you're a homeschooling parent or a teacher, and you're feeling overwhelmed right now with everything that's going on, because I just finished writing report cards. Actually, they were just sent out today. If you've got a lot going on and you want to join me for my free masterclass, the link will be associated with this video. We are going to create an individual plan just for you. So I hope you join me for that. And next week, same place, same time. I can't wait to meet you. In the meantime, remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you. Take care. Bye-bye.